Back once again at Clune Arena here at the United States Air Force Academy. I'm Jeffrey Orman along with Gene Parker. And Gene, really the story of the game, Falcons got a new deep hole and had to try to climb out.
And it's exactly what we talked about towards the end of the game. It was that first half, San Diego just piled it on. They really took advantage of everything that the Falcons were giving them. And from that point on, they were really just trying to dig themselves out of a hole.
And it's very tough to do. We talk about the youth of this team, but, you know, we're going to have to stop using that as an excuse. San Diego's a good club. I really think that the Toreros, who are now 2-0 on the year, they're a good ball team. They've got some people who can put the ball, and they move the ball well. And, you know, Air Force being, I guess, undermanned, but they battled hard, but just not enough.
It wasn't enough, and San Diego really read the defense. They took what Air Force gave them and took advantage of it, whereas Air Force was constantly trying to battle and not take what San Diego was giving them. And give credit to San Diego. Their press offense is really what made the difference in this game.
We are going to take a look at some of the highlights from today's game, starting with, well, the high score for Air Force today, I believe, with 18 points. Here's Riley Snyder.
And she does a good job of lulling the defense to sleep, and she is such a dynamic threat. That's why they have to close out on her high on the three-point line, and that's what lets her drive and go past defenders.
15 points for Emily Conroe today, number 13.
And she played very tough down the stretch. She was battling in there, getting boards, and really stepped up once Kaylin Immel got that fifth foul and had to get out of the game.
For San Diego, they had 3 players in double figures. Here's one of the reasons that Air Force was in a hole. There's a steal and a finish.
And they played tough down the stretch on defense, both in the half court and the full court. And once again, you see here, I mean, throwing the pass midair, just recognizing it. They were constantly looking for each other and not looking to take a good shot. They were looking for great shots and easy shots.
Coming off the bench, and this is the high score of the game for both of the for San Diego, and that was number Swaraj coming off the bench with 16.
But you see here, Air Force still battling at the end, still trying to get back in it, and you really wanted to see that towards the beginning of the fourth quarter, where they still had a shot to get back into the game, but it was tough for them down the stretch to do so.
Alia Marlette finishing with 8 points coming off the bench as we kind of take a look at some final numbers here in the ball game. As far as the field goals, well, what can you say? Almost 42% to 34% for San Diego. And outside of that, as we just kind of take a real quick look at the statistic for rebounding, how about this? Air Force, which trailed at the half by 2 boards, finishes in the rebounding battle ahead 43 to 42.
Well, and it helps that you're shooting 34% for the game. So they were going in there battling for the offensive boards, but like I said, I think it really came down to player execution and just reading the defense. And that's kind of the next step that Air Force needs to get to. They're battling to get to the execution step where they can run their plays all the way through, and they know them like the back of the hand. Now they have to read what the defense is giving them and not force shots.
Statistically, we take a look at the turnovers. San Diego turned it over 21 times to 18 for Air Force, but you know, I know, Gene, we've talked about this, getting in a hole, trying to climb out. You can only do so much, and of course when the clock is working against you, it's very, very difficult.
Indeed.
Northern Colorado, next stop for the United States Air Force Academy Falcons. They'll be on the road, then they'll be right back here on the 23rd to take on Portland. My broadcast partner, Gene Parker, and I will have that broadcast for you. That'll be a 2 o'clock start. Want to thank all of our members of our Falcon Vision team. Once again, the final score, Air Force falls to the University of San Diego 70 to 59. For our entire crew and my broadcast partner, Gene Parker, I'm Jeffrey Orman, bidding you a very pleasant good afternoon from Clune Arena here at the United States Air Force Academy.